Gentlemen, if there's a woman in your life you have romantic feelings for and you are lying awake wondering whether or not to tell her, she almost certainly already knows. And this might sting, but she's probably hoping you don't say anything because she genuinely cares about you and doesn't want to lose you. But stay with me because that's not the end of your story. Research shows 2/3 of couples started exactly where you are right now, as friends or acquaintances. And friends first relationships consistently rate as closer, more trusting, and longer lasting. So understanding this will help you navigate the situation without blowing it all up. Welcome back to Just the Tip. When a woman knows her male friend or close acquaintance has feelings for her, she's sitting in one of two places. Either she's noticed something in you that makes her open to more and is wondering if you're ever going to do something about it, or she values what you have, doesn't see you romantically, and is hoping nothing changes and nobody gets hurt. Now, there is a rare third scenario where she's completely oblivious, but that tends to happen when you met in a large mixed group where your individual attention got diluted by everyone else, like at college. So if you have any kind of genuine one-on-one connection with her, the odds that she has no idea are very low. She probably knows. So the real question isn't whether she knows, it's which scenario are you in, and you must get a clear read on that before you say a single word. So point number one, you must read the situation first. Most guys skip straight to the how do I tell her without spending any time or enough time on the what's really going on here part. That's a bad idea because the how entirely depends on the what. Truth. Most of the warmth a woman shows you looks exactly the same whether she's genuinely friendly or interested in more. She laughs at your jokes. She's kind and engaged. She values you. That doesn't tell you which way she's leaning, unfortunately. The differentiators are investment cost and sexual innuendo. Investment cost is what does it cost her? Does it cost her something? Is she initiating contact? Is she making time when it's genuinely inconvenient? Is she sharing vulnerable things or going out of her way in ways that cost her in terms of time, money, or comfort? Now, sexual innuendo is her safe way to float a balloon to see where it goes. Does she change the subject when you make a romantic or sexual innuendo or ignore it? Or does she joke about what you might be like to date, even if sarcastically? Now, here's another one most guys miss. Listen to what she says she wants in a man. If she describes qualities that are like you, well, pay attention. If she's clearly describing someone completely different, well, that's also information. She may not see you romantically and subtly try to let you know that. Or she might be hoping that you will become that guy, which is possible but might be its own problem. It's not always obvious, so weigh the signals against everything else. When in doubt, use the framework you're about to learn in this video. Now, none of these signals are guarantees on their own. But a consistent pattern of high investment or subtly flirty behavior combined with describing you when she talks about the kind of guy she wants, well, that's a different starting point than a woman who is simply warm and friendly, but maybe inconsistently available. Key point, warmth is not a signal. Investment and innuendo might be a signal. Hint, stop initiating contact for a week. Not as a mind game, but as information gathering. Her response, or lack of one, tells you about her investment level. Regardless, the dynamic between you is not fixed, which brings us to point number two. You are still making impressions. So you're treating this like a verdict has already been handed down, but it hasn't. Here's a common pattern. A man develops feelings and suddenly starts acting differently, less masculine, more man auditioning, always available, never any friction or any polarity, endlessly accommodating. This leaves nothing left for her imagination to work with. Women say they want this, but they respond to something entirely different. Maintaining your own life, your own standards, and your own direction makes you more attractive, not less. If you shift how you're showing up, like becoming a little less available when you need to be somewhere else, Even if somewhere else is a solo night in, well, that shows her you're grounded in your own world. And that alone can sometimes shift how she sees you before you even have a conversation. Key point, you are not waiting for her decision. You are still making impressions. Show up like a man who has options. Hint, identify one way you overfunction with your crush and pull back on that just a little. If you are always the first to text, stop. Give it a few weeks even. See what changes. By the way, are you in this situation right now? Do you think she knows that you like her? Comment. All right, let's say you've done your honest read and you've shifted your behavior to more self-honoring and you've decided to say something. How do you do this without becoming a sweaty, squeaky voiced, high stakes disaster? Point number 3, how you say it is everything. Context matters. You're not going to do this over text or not in a group event or not when either of you is stressed or around others or has somewhere else to be. You need a relaxed, private, a low pressure setting, something like a walk or maybe a casual drink somewhere with a natural flow and an easy exit for her if she needs one. As critical, your tone needs to be calm and light, not heavy and confessional or cracking with anxiety. The biggest mistake men make is treating this like a formal declaration demanding an immediate verdict. That puts enormous pressure on her and turns a simple, honest moment into something that's awkward and stressful. You're not delivering a speech, just opening a door. So something like, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you, and I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about whether there could be something more between us. Not trying to make things weird. I just respect you enough to be honest. Then stop, give her room. You've said the thing. Slow your breathing. Let her respond. That framing is honest without being desperate. It gives her space to respond without feeling cornered, and it positions you as a man secure enough to be vulnerable without falling apart. Vulnerability requires courage, and courage is sexy. Key point. Don't jump in right away and change the subject if she doesn't immediately reply. Let her feel that tiny bit of tension. That's attractive regardless of her reply. Hint, practice saying it out loud in private before you do, not to rehearse a performance, but so the emotion doesn't hijack your throat in the moment. Now, this can go one of two ways, so you need to be truly ready for both, not just hoping for one, which brings us to point number 4, handle it like a man, either way. If she's open to more, great. Stay grounded. Don't overreact. Don't get giddy or immediately start treating her like a girlfriend. This is the beginning of something, not the happy ending. Remember the Wingmam motto. Always leave them wanting more, but give them enough to want more. Now, if she's not interested, and there's a real chance she won't be, here's what to do next. And this is critical. Do not crumble. Do not apologize for having feelings. Do not scramble to take it back. And that's the move that makes things feel creepy because it tells her your honesty was conditional on getting the right answer. And it wasn't. You said something true. Own it. Then say something simple and dignified. You know what? I appreciate your honesty. I'm glad I said something. Still friends? Then change the topic. Give it some space. You don't need to exit her life dramatically, but you are also not obligated to immediately act like nothing happened. That's not fair to you. Truth, a woman who genuinely values you will respect how you handled this. And occasionally, not always, a man who handles rejection with dignity makes her reconsider. Not because you played it cool, but because you showed her you value yourself regardless of what someone else thinks. In fact, it may be the seed that grows for her. Key point. How you handle her answer tells her more about your character than the exact words you said. Hint, have a plan for the next 48 hours after the conversation. Fill the time. Go see friends, go for a hike. Don't sit around staring at your phone. Now, just before I reveal the most critical point, if you have found value in this video so far, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And thank you if you already have. Okay, So something that often gets completely lost in the anxiety about the friendship or whatever it is you have is, what about you? And that brings us to point number 5. Protect yourself, not just the relationship. Your feelings are real. Your well-being matters. One of the most common things I see is good men tying themselves in knots to protect her at the expense of their own emotional health. If she doesn't feel the same way, you are not obligated to immediately resume the normal friendship duties. Some men can genuinely do that. A lot of men can't, at least not right away. And there is no shame in that. If spending time with her while she dates other men is gut-wrenching, and it probably will be, at least at first, you are allowed to create some distance while you find your footing. That is not ruining what you have together. That's self-care, a quality women will understand that you may need some space after being honest about something so real. If she responds with frustration or guilt trips, well, that tells you something important about the relationship and her character. Key point: you must not protect what you have with her at the cost of your own dignity. That's self-abandonment. Hint: give yourself a timeline, not for her to change her mind, but for you to reach a place where being around her doesn't hurt. Now, if that takes 3 weeks or 3 months, take the time you need. You are a part of this equation. You are also a part of my equation. This video is sponsored by you. By watching my videos and investing in my programs, you help me continue to publish videos for free. So thank you. Now, having said that, a great distraction from romantic rejection is my Inner Circle private men's group. I guarantee women will see you differently after 4 weeks of the physical, mental, and emotional challenges it provides. I can't guarantee your crush will want you, but she will definitely notice what she may be losing. And more importantly, you will see yourself differently. In fact, after a month of leveling up, you may have second thoughts about her. Best of all, it costs less than one therapy session, and the effects can be life-changing. Okay, but here's what I want you to walk away with today. She almost certainly knows that you like her. And the default is she is hoping the relationship stays exactly as it is. Not because she's stringing you along, but because she genuinely is fond of you. That is where you are starting from. Default isn't destiny. How you show up between now and that conversation shapes how she might see you. How you handle the conversation shapes it even further. And how you handle whatever comes next tells both of you a lot about who you are as a man. Wise men read the situation honestly. They say what they mean without making it a crisis. And they handle the outcome with dignity. Let that wise man be you. You will also want to watch the video coming up on the signs that she is definitely not interested, because if she's showing you those signs, well, none of what you just learned is going to help you. And you could be walking straight into a crushing and humiliating situation. So do not do that to yourself. Lots of love. Big hug. God bless.